2 games in a row for the Detroit Lions in the playoffs after not having won in 30-plus years. What was it like in that building? You obviously, as Collinsworth pointed out, live in the state of Michigan, and I'm no doubt surrounded by all these Lions fans, Mike.
Yeah, congratulations on your Wolverines,
Thank
by the
you,
way,
sir.
Rich.
Appreciate
of course,
that.
You're welcome. What a week. I don't think the state has ever had a better football week, with Michigan winning the national championship for the first time since 97 on Monday, and then the Lions winning a playoff game for the first time in 32 seasons. It was obviously great scene, great atmosphere, emotional people, longtime fans. I'll tell you what the coolest parts were.
Mm-hmm.
Cold day, people in an hour and a half before the game, watching the Packers-Cowboys on the big screen, and the Green Bay Packers, the rival for the Lions, being cheered loudly when they would score touchdowns. Everybody fully cognizant of a loss by the Cowboys meant what we have Sunday, a home game for Detroit for the second straight week. So that was one part. And then 45 minutes before the game, I'm down on the field. I was talking to somebody from the Rams. They looked at me and said, there's a coach, said, have you ever seen a building this full at this point before kickoff? And I said, no. And then about 10 minutes later, I go back up to the booth. Stafford comes out and gets booed. Goff comes out and gets cheered. And it was almost like being at a UFC fight or a hockey game. They just started chanting his name, like 50,000 people, 45 minutes before kickoff. I've never seen that at an NFL game. So that gives you a sense of how special the atmosphere was.
And then the game. The game was easily the best game of Super Wildcard Weekend, just in terms of the competition, in terms of everything else that was going on off the field and the backstory. The game was, you used the perfect word, Stafford slinging it. He was slinging it. I mean, nobody throws a prettier ball at different angles like him. And obviously for him to do that under these circumstances were remarkable. What a great game it was, Mike.
And watching him from when he got drafted, Rich, watching a lot of those games where the Lions weren't winning, I loved watching him play. And I thought he endeared himself to people around the league or anybody who was a Detroit fan. The first year in NFL Films had him mic'd. He gets knocked out, busts up his ribs against Cleveland. I can go back in, going for 2, gets up, goes back in, throws it, is in a ton of pain, and they win the game. I think it was 39-38 or something like that. And it was a lot like that on Sunday. He got beat up, battered, looking up at the ceiling of the stadium, which he's done about 500 times, but kept coming back for more. I love watching him play. I love that what the Rams did this year, what Les Snead, the general manager, Kevin Demoff, the team president, and obviously Sean McVay, what those guys did, they kind of rebuilt it around some big studs. You know, when you're doing a remodeling project, well, they had studs in McVay and Donald and Stafford, and they rebuilt around it. And the Rams are back. And I think it's great for the league, and I think it's great in general that they turned around, took the cap hit, and survived, which is a lot like the Bucs, right? The Bucs were $80 million underwater in the cap with this big hit. This season was supposed to be, we'll see in a couple of years. And now they're in the Final 8, a game from the championship game. Go figure.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.